everybody. So earlier this year, we decided to launch public programs for the first time ever in The Jungle People. And one of the topics that we are going to be talking about is strategic thinking. So it's funny because after 20 years in the learning industry, we still find that most people find strategic thinking to be mysterious, in the realms of the gurus or the top leaders of the world and so on and so forth. Now, is it really that unattainable? Is it really that difficult? Can we teach it? Well, today I'm going to try to break it down for you in as simple steps as possible. So, strategic thinking is the ability to consider multiple viewpoints and all the factors that influence those viewpoints in order for you to be able to come up with a more strategic decision. Now, the question is, how do we go about it? So I've got 3 C's for you today. The first C that you've got to be clear about is clarity. Now, clarity is as simple as understanding what is it that you want? What is it that you want to influence? What is it that you want to impact? It's really difficult to think strategically when you're not really sure of what you want. So do yourself a favor, make sure you're clear about that. And it could be as simple as if it's in your business, are you looking at improving P&L? Are you improving market share? Are you trying to go and penetrate into a new market? What is it that you want to achieve? On the home front, where strategic thinking is also relevant, could be something as simple as, do you want more quality time with your kids? Would you like to have better work-life balance? So being clear about what is it that you want to achieve helps you then be clearer about the strategies that you can take in order to achieve them. So the second C is context. Now, context is about being able to identify what are the primary factors that influence the outcome. Now, context also helps you understand what is the ecosystem or the environment surrounding that outcome. So for example, if I was struggling with work-life balance, some of the primary factors influencing this outcome would be a high workload or perhaps a demanding boss. Now, this is where you've got to go one step further, because most people stop here and they go, I have a demanding boss, can't really do anything about it, and therefore they just carry on business as usual. But the second layer is where it starts getting interesting. The secondary factors. These are secondary factors that influence the primary factors. And if you go a little bit deeper, taking the example above, it could be what's influencing my work-life balance other than a demanding boss, other than working long hours. Could be skill sets. Because I don't have the necessary skill sets to be able to do it faster, I have to end up working longer hours, or I have to end up having to deal with a more demanding boss. Now, that's a secondary factor. If you can go then down to tertiary factors, you are getting closer and closer to the root cause. Now, this context allows you to then address what is the root cause of the matter rather than addressing what is in your face, where most people live. So the further you go in identifying these factors, the more strategic your thinking becomes. And then you come to a conclusion. You come to the final C, which is questioning what is it then do I do about the situation that I'm in, having considered the primary, the secondary, and at the very least the tertiary factors, and beyond if it's at all possible. Now, the further you are able to think, the more strategic people will call you. And if you can imagine that this is one line, this is a linear line, primary, secondary, tertiary, and then you explode this into a sphere, and if you can handle that kind of thinking, that's strategic thinking. Now, with all those different factors coming back to you, you then make a single or multiple decisions that influence as many of these factors as possible. Is it then assured that you're going to get a good strategy? No. Because no matter how good you are at mapping all these factors out, there will be factors that are unknown, or there will be factors that you miss out. So cut yourself some slack. Not every strategy is going to bring brilliant results, but the more factors you are able to consider before making a decision will then help you predict some of these outcomes. And then you become more strategic. So, in summary, strategic thinking, 3 C's: clarity, context, conclusion. Make sure you know what you want, make sure you know the ecosystem that it sits in, and thirdly, make sure you act on the decision that you've made. This is the whole basis of the strategic thinking session that we have in our Leaders Toolkit. So if you want more information, go check out our website, Leaders Toolkit, and maybe I'll see you on the program.